Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Marnie.
Okay, this is a small random thing which I forgot to say before, but we got our piercings done about a year ago.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, and I still don't think mine's healed.
Oh, okay, your fingers. I thought you were going to say something else.
What do you think I was going to say?
So you don't think yours is healed?
Yeah.
I think mine is definitely healed, but I had another piercing that I couldn't take out.
Oh, yeah.
And I mentioned it in the group chat and everyone was counting me. Oh, it's been a year, it's been a year.
It's been more than a year. And for context, so last year, all our girlies had a kind of a group solidarity piercing, whichever body part we wanted. Most of us did.
Solidarity implies something sad happened to one of us.
No, okay, yeah.
We just all got piercings.
We all got piercings together to
commemorative.
To honour our friend who was just moving away. And so we all did a piercing. Most of us did it our ears or head. No, some of the heads.
Near your ear.
Near the ear. And I did one in the lower helix, and I still, literally, it's just still...
Does it hurt?
It's still a bit swollen.
Okay, yeah.
And it's still a bit oozy. Which is actually, yeah...
I think you should go to a doctor.
I'm gonna have to go... I'm gonna go back to the piercer.
Oh, okay. Mine is definitely healed, but it took a long time.
Yeah. No, this piercing, the one I'm saying I don't think it's healed. It's just it's come in phases. Sometimes it's perfectly fine.
Maybe something's got in it.
I think I did touch it, but maybe with a dirty finger or something like that.
Yeah, or like a hair.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the hairs get like
tangled in.
Yeah, in an earring and then.
Yeah, it just gets a bit thing. So I'm gonna go and check it out. But that was my little rant. Of
you let me know when I'm going because I want to change my piercing and I can't. I don't know how you take it off.
Yeah, that one.
And also,
you did a tragus.
Yes.
And the other piercing that's never moved in how many years?
I've had this piercing for I want to say 8 years.
And it's not moved. It's in an upper helix.
It moves.
But it doesn't come out. Which is a big problem. That's a significant problem.
For whom?
For everyone involved. Well, for you, really.
It doesn't hurt. You know, it's. I often forget I even have it.
But the thing is, if you ever want to have a choice, like, oh, by the way, I've got an outfit and I just want to wear gold jewellery, I would like to know that I could take up my piercing when I want to do.
I've been thinking about it, and actually,
wow.
If I change this earring or if I change my tragus or the one that's up here, what you call these again?
Upper helix.
I would probably get silver in them again. I was looking at it and I was like, I kind of like that, like from the tragus up, it's silver, and then from the tragus down, it's gold. I
still am not a massive fan of like mixed coloured jewellery and I have to wear it because I now have only just kept this lower tragus one in silver. But I like having a choice. Like if I've got a gold outfit, I want to wear gold.
What's the gold outfit?
Usually when I'm wearing burgundy. I know. I just feel comfortable wearing gold. Or our girlies.
Uniform?
No,
because we had to wear gold earrings.
Yeah, but I just feel like with some colours, some jewelry just suit other colours. Like I feel like burgundy and gold go really well together. Mm-hmm. I feel like blue, like light blue and silver go really well together. Mm-hmm. White and silver go well together. Mm. Even when I have like shoes and they have like a gold or a silver accent, I would like my earrings to match, but sometimes I can't. Mm. So yeah.
Do you, when you have shoes with like a gold or silver accent, use a bag that has a gold and silver accent?
I try to, but sometimes it doesn't work.
So why are you putting your ear under this pressure?
Don't do that. If
you can't buy a bag.
No, but I just like things to match.
Yeah.
I just feel like it goes with the outfit.
Sometimes in life things don't match, you know.
As a fashionista, I'm absolutely not.
Sometimes,
I can't sit off my chest.
We are going to talk about later in our review, some matches aren't a match.
Wow, that was really smooth. That was very, very smooth. But either
I'm
way,
a radio host.
All I'm going to say, I just like my silvers to be silver and my golds to be gold. And no mixing.
I really have been thinking about it. And like, in theory, I wouldn't usually like it. But honestly, I think I do like it. It's grown on. Maybe it's grown on me because I'm just used to it now. But obviously, when we first got the piercings and they were like, yeah, it has to be silver. Well, it didn't have to be silver, but like the gold was so expensive.
So expensive.
It was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Because I have one silver earring and, you know, one gold and one silver. And then I've changed my other earrings so often. And this is always the same. Yeah. So I'm kind of just got used to it. And the same with my upper helix is always the same.
Yeah, it's always the same because it's not moved.
Yeah, I can't take them out.
Anyway, we will go to a piercer, figure out what's going on with my piercing, and then try and get rid of your one.
Don't
and
say it like that. Not rid.
It kind of does.
Replace her.
After 8 years, she needs to go.
Don't be rude to her.
Oh my god, I just can't believe that it's not.
She's been with me through thick and thin.
No, the thing is, when we tried to even move into it just didn't move, and I actually was feeling a bit worried.
I really am curious as to what happened.
I think maybe it's
because
it's fused around it. Maybe your skin, maybe the back of your skin has fused around it.
It's not attached to my skin at all. It moves back. You can see it moving.
Then maybe
it moves back and forth. It's not.
What's the back? What's the back?
The back is stuck to the actual earring.
Maybe it's the actual. It's the back of the. So it's actually the earring. It's not.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with my ear.
Also, like, why did you not get like a piercing style? Because it's not a piercing style. It's like a normal earring, isn't it?
Yes. Well, what happened was earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
The stud came out.
Yeah.
And then I put a new stud in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm hoping, and we're hoping that
it is what it is at this point.
Actually, really and truly, you just need wire cutters.
Yes, I just need wire cutters. And someone who I trust.
So you don't trust... Well, actually, our girlies, who has the most steady hand, do you think? Actually, the person who does it, she's not even here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either going to be her or...
Me.
Never you, bro.
What do you mean, never me?
No, it wasn't going to be you.
How dare
Caroline. You? I've let Caroline touch my eyeballs before. I would let her cut near
yeah.
I don't know if I trust you with my eyeballs.
I don't even know what I'm touching.
That's exactly. That's why I can't do you.
I don't have contact lenses. I don't know. Like, I don't see the difference. So I'm definitely not the person with the eyeballs. But I definitely can do the clipping and the cutting.
We'll see. This will be a test of our friendship. I will actually get wire cutters.
What do you think? I'm going to do
no, because I trust you.
I'm not Pia.
Okay.
Biblical joke there. Boom, boom.
I was literally going to get wire cutters. I think I have wire cutters. Next time come to my house.
We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe we'll bring an extra witness.
I'm just getting ready. I'm going to have 999 poised to be called because I actually feel like I'm having a Raven moment. I'm sitting into theatre and I'm covered in blood. What have you done? I can't hear anything. Yeah. That's
oh my god, the way it looks can be quite easily cut.
It will be really easily cut.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not often walking around with wire cutters. Weirdly.
Jesus.
Call me weird.
Oh gosh.
But shall we get to pop culture news?
Let's do it. So, it's been an interesting week in pop culture. I mean, it's been okay.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's been alright. This week...
I feel like this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like because of the strikes, nothing's happening in pop culture. Oh, well, actually, no, something absolutely huge is happening.
Go on.
Which is Israel and Gaza.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that is
and that's why there's no pop culture happening, because something very big and real is happening.
Yeah.
It's incredibly important and something we should be putting our time and attention into, and not, like, people getting married. That being said...
yeah. And then we're going to move on to pop culture.
We, however, are going to talk about the pop culture news. Whatever measly pop culture news has happened in that time.
I mean, Love is Blind finished up Series 5. We did review it a couple of episodes ago. It has been a wild season. And as we said, it's left the train of it being about love and now moved into the parody...
goofball...
soap opera era.
Or, like... the most orchestrated. This is the first time I've ever watched it and thought, oh, these people are actors.
Oh yeah, same.
I do not think these are real people.
The thing's like I enjoyed Love Is Blind for a multitude of reasons. I love the love, and I also love the drama. But I need them in almost not equal footing, probably more love than drama.
Yeah.
And this season was more drama than love. And this happened last season as well.
It happened in season 2 as well.
Yeah, it happened in season 2. But season 2 was really bad because there was no love. Like, no couples have stayed since then. See, last season, even though it was bad, we left with 3 couples. And they're still together, which is wild.
Well, they have to be together for contractual reasons. Yeah,
but it's been over a year now. They can break up if they want.
We'll see.
Anyway. But all I know is that this season has not been my favourite at all. It's had a lot of twists and turns, and it's making me also worried for the future because there are now new grounds of drama and, you know, chaos that we are accepting on our TV screens. The reunion happened, and with that, you know, Nick and Vanessa interviewed the couple that was said yes to the altar. Started with Milton and Lydia, who are still together. I was surprised.
Yeah, this reunion is a year after they got married.
A year.
Which is weird. So after the altar is what, 2 years after? When are they going to do after the altar if it's been a year?
Probably beginning of next year, maybe.
Very weird.
I'm literally guessing, because then when is season 6 going to happen? Because at the moment, everything seems to be happening every 6 months. So I'm assuming by, like, I don't know, spring, we'll be getting season 6. They're filming this on like a revolt,
yeah, it's turned into RuPaul's Drag Race in every sense of the world. Where there is at any one time at least 2 franchises being filmed.
It's crazy.
So
I will say Nick and Vanessa were a lot less fiery. They were more tame.
There was no one to fight with. There was hardly anybody at the reunion.
Thank God.
Because there was only one couple.
It's true, and also it wasn't live, so they edited it to the gods. I'm imagining, but yeah.
I found one thing I would say, like, I know that everybody clowns Vanessa and says she's like the most biased host you could possibly have, but when that girl,
which one, Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny.
And the dude were whispering while Stacey was speaking.
Chris. Yeah.
That did wind me up, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I'm honestly in that fight. I think Johnny's awful, and I think Stacey's awful, and I think more than anything, Izzy is awful.
Yeah.
So the two of them even beefing because of Izzy is crazy to me. But I find that Johnny, I've become, when it comes to TV, less sympathetic towards the person who cries first.
Yeah.
Because that's so often a way to get out of trouble. Yeah. And she did walk into that scene being like, what's going on? Because I'm seeing a lot of hands fight. She came in quite defensive.
Yeah.
And whatever happened after that. But like, I find in the Izzy Johnny thing, trying to be like one of them's a villain and one of them's a victim. Like, I just don't think either one of them are. I think they're both shit people, because of Izzy.
Yeah, I mean, I
still can't believe Johnny got away with straight up lying to Chris's face.
Yeah.
And then saying another thing to Izzy, and then sitting there being like, oh, he was the love of my life. Then it turned out Chris cheated on her.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was crazy.
I mean, something about it is, I was going to say poetic justice, because Johnny never made Chris number 1. She always saw him as number 2. But I'm not saying what Chris did was right, because it wasn't. He shouldn't have cheated on her. He should have just told her, I'm not interested in you. I actually don't understand why.
Yeah, it's actually worse than being cheated on, because it was like, oh, I'm just gonna date someone else.
And then ghost you completely. So that was absolutely wrong. And weirdly, people were saying the villain that came up the whole show was Chris, which I still think is wild. But I will say that the fact that Chris went back to Johnny and they reunited, to me didn't ever make sense, because
it was pushed by production.
It was, yeah. I believe in forgiveness, but I still cannot stand the idea that deep down, you never picked me first. Deep down, you were saying that I was a safe choice, that you had made mistakes with men like me. Like, all those things that you had said, but you were like, oh no, I'm going to get him back. It was too messy.
Like, obviously on a show like that, I think I might also be like torn between multiple people and make a decision, and then maybe afterwards be like, this wasn't the right one.
Yeah.
But the lying is the thing that I would struggle to come back from. Like, you're picking someone else, then going, do you know what, this was not right for me. I think I want to be with you isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, I my ego would be bruised, but I think my ego could heal from that. What I don't think I could heal from is hearing that you told that person that I was the safe choice, and then you're telling me that they're like, now I just don't trust you.
Yeah.
Because if you were straight up and honest with me, you're like, yeah, I was talking to multiple, obviously I'm talking to multiple people and I have a connection with multiple people. My feelings won't get that hurt. Of course I'll be sad because I want to be with you, but it won't be like, oh, you told me I was the only one.
Yeah.
Which is basically
what happened.
Yeah. And it honestly only felt like she came back to him because she wanted to stay in the show.
Of course.
Didn't feel like she actually liked Chris. When she said, yeah, when I heard that Chris was upset about me breaking up with him, that's when I was like, yeah, I think I want to be with him. What?
No.
Grow up.
I'm sorry. So to me, the whole season was pretty disappointing. In the reunion, Taylor and JP Also joined the reunion. I mean,
that didn't go far enough for me.
No, it didn't. I really
That did not go far enough for me.
If Vanessa wants to do her Vanessa way, she should have really leaned into JP and be like, so you don't like her because of the makeup she's wearing? Or was the fact that you just didn't like her and you used makeup as an excuse?
It just didn't make sense. When he was like, oh, so what happened was I got nervous. It's like,
Yeah,
right, so what's that got to do with the makeup?
Yeah.
We all get nervous, babe.
And also, like, I know they film quite a bit, like it is quite constant, but there are moments when there's downtime and the cameras are off. So what was happening during those periods? Because from the sound of it with Taylor,
she said it was dead on and off air.
Yeah, which that's all you need to know. The guy didn't like you, and he was basically waiting for you to break up with him because he didn't have the guts to do it.
But it's even weird. Like, you could never get this girl. Let's be honest.
It's true.
You was punching.
Oh, 100%.
So how can you look at this person who is like gorgeous and be like, she's just not my type. I was hoping to date someone hotter than this, maybe less hot.
Also,
and then when, what was her name?
Taylor.
No, the host. How did I just forget
Vanessa.
her name? Vanessa was like, how do you usually meet girls? Like, how do you approach girls? He was like, my friends go and talk to girls for me, and then they break that. I said, what the hell are you talking about?
I'll be honest, I got ick from that.
What are you even talking about?
Yeah.
So when you're out, you're like, please go and talk to that girl. Please.
Don't do that. Not the begging. Not the begging.
Don't beg.
Not the begging.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I'd be sick to my stomach if I found out that's what happened.
So
he was gross. Sorry, he was gross, and he was such a sorry excuse for a man. Like, I have more respect for people who are like, yeah, straight up, I don't like you. Yeah. I just not.
I wish that would have happened because
he was just so mincing and pathetic. Yeah. Didn't have a good reason, and it obviously was still hurting this girl. Yeah. And it just made me really sad for her because like a year's passed. Yeah. And here you are in front of this person again, and it still feels so raw. And you could tell that he's just sitting there, giving you nothing.
And you could tell that she was really holding it in because she
looked gorgeous.
She looks amazing, and she also was like, "Look, I forgive you." But you could tell, you could feel the hurt. Like, she was hurt. Like, he messed her around, and she was so hopeful. And they were like one of the first couples. They were supposed to be, and how they positioned it, that they were going to be like Lauren and Cameron. I think was it. Well, they kind of like the first couple to get engaged is usually the one that lasts.
No, but it's not going to work.
No.
I think that. Oh, I had something really smart to say.
Hello.
It's gone out of my head. I feel with the show that it's not. I think it's become too, like, the people on it are too self-aware.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying that for quite a few seasons now.
Yeah, and I think that, like, the thing with JP is he's aware that whatever he really thinks, he can't say. Yeah. And so it's not really giving good TV because you've got Taylor trying to, you know, defend herself or claw back some sort of power in that situation. Yeah. JP's just not gonna, he's not gonna engage to give you that. No. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, that's the thing.
But doesn't that explain, like, what was the thought process there? Like, are you really going to sit here and say you've never spoken to a person in their life that you don't understand, that you probably shouldn't say to a woman or anybody, oh, I like you better when you don't have makeup. It's disgusting to me when you make up. You're ugly to me when you wear makeup. What the hell are you talking about? It's so weird and like such weird and controlling language as well. That like, why did they even cast him? It wasn't good TV.
No, I do think that when
at least Izzy would go and cry in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
that was entertaining.
I thought that was the one time I was like, oh my goodness, maybe. So maybe you called him a himbo, and I was like, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's like, maybe deep down this is like, he's just misunderstood type of thing. Because I thought Izzy was quite attractive, and I was like, oh, it's just I felt so sad for him. Anyway,
that is how Izzy's made it this far in life.
Yeah.
The women feel sorry for him. Like, he's so goofy and stupid. What do you mean?
I mean, it's not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but
it's, you know, what, 2 days until the wedding. You're telling me you've got debt, and also he's lying. There's no way it's just 3K of debt.
I'll be honest. So when
add another zero to that.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is, I know everyone kind of getting at Stacey, but I actually understand her perspective. And I would have said no to Izzy too.
It's not an understanding thing. Be for real. If that was like, do you remember when Barnett and Amber?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was different. No, he did say, "Oh, I'll cover your debt for you," but she told him like before they got married.
But it was an issue.
Yeah, it was
when she told him. It wasn't like he was like, "I can't wait to cover your debt."
Yeah, no,
no matter where you're coming from, I would like to know if getting married to you is going to cost me more than just getting married to you. I would like to know that.
Yeah.
I'd like to know if it's likely that we could buy a house together. I would like to know if it's likely that we could start having children soon. Those are things that like require knowing what that person's financial status is. And for you to wait until 2 days before, and I'm telling you, it just screamed of, I assumed we would get married and you paid for it.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any point in me bringing it up because you're going to pay for it either way. It's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And then him being like, the thing about Stacey is like, I'm not like her. Like, I don't care about restaurants or how much money people have. Shut up.
No. I'll be honest, because Stacey did say that she had spoken to him about finances in the pods.
Yup, and he didn't mention it.
Outside of the pods. I think maybe when they were in the honeymoon and then just before they got married. So, before they went to the altar. So she had been speaking to him about it. And the thing is, I really did support Stacey in that sense that I think finances is such a big topic and it's one of the biggest causes of divorces in general, and you need to be on the same page when it comes to finances, even if you're not all making the same, but like at least you know what your financial situation is before you get engaged or get married, because your money's all going to become one by that point. So
you need to. I don't mind marrying someone who has debt, but you need to have a plan of how you're going to pay that debt out without me.
Yeah, because to be perfectly honest, that's your debt.
100%. I'm not touching that.
No.
But if your plan was we get married then we split the bills, I'm not paying your credit card bill. That doesn't make sense to me, does it?
No, absolutely not.
That you ran up when you weren't even with me.
Yeah.
Please.
I keep on hearing all these weird dilemmas on other podcasts where they talk about like, the wife was covering or paid for like a debt, and then the husband said he would pay her back in cash. I'm like, you can't be doing this kind of scamming with your wife or with your partner. Like, let's be honest. Let's be real. So apparently Stacey had told Izzy that she was going to say no 2 days before the wedding. So there was no surprise. Even though...
Yeah, but they do it up.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Do it up for the cameras.
Oh, 100%. But it was so weird because, he kisses her on the altar. So I was so confused actually when they broken up. I was like, are they still together but they're just having more time? Is this one of those things where like they're not going to get married right now, but they will later? Like they hold Gianina. I always get her name wrong. Giannina and
Paul. I want to say
Damien. Giannina and Damien.
But he looks like a Paul.
It kind of does, yeah. But they got back together anyway.
And then broke up.
But yeah, then they broke up, and he went on Perfect Match, and they were living together.
Made a fool of himself.
Yeah,
which we love to see.
It was hilarious. But with Izzy, it made something didn't sit well with me at the end when they did that confessional moment after I think he spoke to his mom, and he was like, she wants to have a rich, when he was basically dragging her. Yeah, and that's when I realised,
that's the kind of guy she used to date. I'm not that guy. I don't care about money or cars or eating at the best restaurant. I'm real. I'm a real... I was like,
no.
You don't come back from that, really, are you?
I think that's it. And I realised, when they came back for the reunion and they went together, I was like, I'm not surprised, so... But overall, I think it was quite a...
I think it's rancid that they make you sit next to the person if you're not together. I don't want to sit next to you.
No. Not at all.
You don't know if we're in a good place or not.
I mean, they said that they were friends and they got together... They tried to explore a relationship afterwards, but I think it was just dead in the water before they even started, so...
They should have tried... as soon as it was over.
I agree.
Not tried. We just decided we weren't going to get married. We didn't decide we weren't going to be together.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to me when they were talking about it and they're like, we met up again 2 weeks later. Yeah, that's done.
That's done. It's finished. It's finished. So I don't know. It was just an interesting reunion. It feels like, again, Izzy, he went back to Johnny, they had a kiss, it didn't work out. I was like... Just
messy.
Come on.
And of course she kissed him, but it's fine because... Chris cheated on her, so now we're supposed to be like, you know what, Chris is a villain, Johnny's fine.
Yeah, come on.
In the midst of this, Milton and Lydia are just fine.
Yeah, and Aaliyah comes out and then Lydia's guards are up.
Aaliyah came out trying to fight Lydia and I was like, sorry.
It's kind of done.
You're not married because Uche didn't want to marry you, not because of Lydia.
Yeah.
So, the energy, direct it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Lydia had nothing nice. I know that the internet's like, no, Lydia's crazy. I don't know if I believe that 100%. I also, the version of events I believe is like I've said earlier. Aaliyah is crazy. Uche is crazy. Lydia is crazy. All three of them are unhinged.
Yeah.
And they had to be unhinged for this to work.
Oh, yeah.
This wouldn't have happened in the way that it happens if they weren't all crazy.
Because if there was some maturity, then it would have been, okay, we used to date, there's nothing between us, we're good. Let's, like, I think had there been mature people in the room, we wouldn't have had the amount of drama we had this season.
Yeah, because to me, the number one issue was the way that Uche presents himself on the show. Why would either of these women be going to these lengths to be with him?
Yeah.
Lydia's found out he's coming on Love is Blind, has then cast herself on Love is Blind, hoping to bump into him on Love is Blind so he can get back.
Oh,
he's not that nice.
Yeah, come on.
He was actually very unpleasant.
Yeah.
So,
which I don't understand how they could have even been together, I'll be honest, but it's just been... It's been a quite interesting season. Very different from previous seasons. And I feel this is the second time they've been in Texas for Love is Blind. I think we're done with Texas. Like, let's move on to another state. Let's go to Florida. It's crazy out, but with warmth.
Yeah, but let's go. I think we really need to go to Arkansas. Nobody talks about
True.
Arkansas enough. Just go to one of those like weird, or like something in the Bible Belt, like somewhere just like different energy, where the drama will be
Salt
different.
Lake City.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, no, Washington DC. Like, and also let's have more black people. Let's go to Atlanta. Let's go to Atlanta.
They've done Atlanta.
Yeah, so that was Lauren and Cameron, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've done Atlanta.
Okay. Let's go to Atlanta again. We really, because that season.
Let's go to Atlanta again.
Because that season really gave us love.
Let's go to Atlanta again.
How would you rate Love is Blind Series 5?
Well, I was actually going to ask a different question.
Go on.
Based on this season, what percentage likely are you to do Love is Blind?
Myself, personally.
Yeah, like if you were like, you've got two choices. You do Love is Blind or you have to be homeless. What are you going to do? No, I'm saying like someone comes up to you right now and they're like, we'll cast you in the show immediately at no cost to your life. How likely are you to say yes at this point in the franchise?
I couldn't do it.
What's the percentage?
The percentage, 5%.
Damn.
I really can't. The thing is, because I know that it doesn't work, I couldn't put myself in that situation. Because it's people are too self-aware, as you said. And I just don't know how genuine people are. And it's crazy because there are new Love is Blind franchises being started up. Like the UK is coming, Germany's coming, Sweden's coming, all these other countries are coming. But we've seen like 5+ seasons of the US going mad. I just wouldn't want to put myself in that position. I just couldn't.
I think going in as my actual self would be 10%. Going in as a character, 80%.
If the outcome of this is not for me to find love, but to find fame and influences and brand deals, and I know it's going to pay me well, 25%.
But I feel like if you go on for that reason, you're always the person who doesn't get it.
It's true.
Like if you go on
very true.
wanting to be famous,
that is very
people
true.
will see through you straight away. When I say I'm going on as a character, it's like I come here under the producer's direction to just make as much drama as I can. That's what I'm here to do. I'm an actor, basically. I'm not here as myself.
But how far would you be able to get with that character?
Oh, honey, a man will be convinced for sure.
Oh my gosh.
He'll be like, "This is something about her." Stupid ass. I'm gonna say no at the altar.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna say no the minute we get there, and I'm gonna be sobbing. You are the kindest.
I will be done.
Sorry, I didn't want to cry.
Oh, I'm so finished.
You've taught me how to love.
I'm done.
Powerful way, and I wish I could give you the answer that you want, but I'm just not there. And scene.
Cut. Okay, thank you everyone. But the thing is, if you want to do that character, please don't invite me to your wedding. Because I always feel sorry for the guests. I'm sitting there.
If I was doing a purely drama performance on the show, you're coming because you're a very judgmental person. And
they'll get my face when I'm rolling my eyes.
And then our friend who's an actor, and I'll give you guys the assignment. Like, basically, act like you feel like he's not the right person for me.
But I wouldn't have to act. I would already know. Because I feel like if you're doing a character...
So what do you guys think of Brian?
I feel like he's doing a character too.
Sorry?
I feel like I don't think he's here for the right reason.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
I don't think you're here for the right reason either.
Sorry?
Can you imagine? I'll be like that friend that turned on you.
Sorry?
Which friend was that? She was
the mixed race girl's friend.
Is that season 2?
3...
I can't remember.
4. It was the last one.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a Nigerian guy.
Oh yes, SK and Raven. Yeah.
Wow, that was a big flop.
Yeah. But
so many flops in this flops on this show.
I mean, talking of flops, how would you rate this season then?
Flop. One person made it down the aisle. Flop.
I think
actually no, that's not fair. 2 people made it down the aisle. One of them actually made it back up again.
But I mean, we know that there's quite a few other couples that have been either scrubbed from the season.
Yeah.
So I just
don't get why they. But there must be a reason.
There's some. I think from what the news is saying, there's some more serious things as to why they were. But I think from a love perspective, I would give this a 1 out of 5 because that's literally how it ended up. 1 out of 5 couples made it down the aisle. From a drama perspective, I'll give it a 3.5, 4. So
I think the season started really strong, but the final episodes were just such a slog to get through.
Do you know what
I'm giving it a 1 overall, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Like, it started off at a 3 and it went
down.
So, like, just Izzy and Stacey talking, and then Lydia and Milton talking. I was like, both of these couples, like you said, suck. You're not rooting for them.
No. I was actually annoyed that they left us an extra week because they did episodes
very
8,
crazy.
9, and then a week for the finale. It's like, just put the finale all together. Cut one of those episodes. Just show them as they're getting ready for the wedding, get their wedding dresses and their suits.
They wanted their money for their episodes, which is why they did that. And still, you got to make your money how you make your money. But it was, I would be embarrassed to present that as an episode of television.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I would give it overall with love and drama. The average will be about 2.5. The 0.5 is the drama. Like those first 4 episodes is probably one of the strongest 4 episodes from any of the seasons.
I just don't know how they let it fall apart so quickly.
Because you only got one couple. I think
they honestly shouldn't have let Lydia and Uche share the news then.
No, it should have been the producers.
They shouldn't have done it then. It should have been after the honeymoons.
But the thing is, I had they not revealed it, I think it would have been detrimental to the couples.
That's fine. We don't give a heck about the couples. We're here for drama. Like, if you're actually producing a season, you're not there for the couples, you're there for the drama.
To be perfectly honest, where it should have been revealed was at the honeymoon when all the couples get back together and they have a conversation there. Yeah. And it was with previous season, like last season with, what's his name? Kwame, aka Alex, and then Blonde Girl, when they had that moment in the beach at the beach, and I was like, wow, Kwame is really out here trying to ruin his marriage before it even starts. Yeah. I mean, they're together now, but that moment where I was like, that's too messy, and that was perfect TV because you really want that reunion where they saw each other and you realise Kwame's attracted to her. Yeah,
they should have, if they were going to keep it, they should have kept it until they saw each other. Yeah. And they should, either the producers should have shared it. Yeah. So it felt a bit more official because, like, to hear at the reunion, the producers were the ones that gave us permission to share it, felt very like, well, it actually, the way they've edited it is that you guys decided to keep it a secret and then you guys decided to share it.
Yeah, I felt like that Nick Lachey said that little speech to kind of cover everyone's asses, but I think I wasn't really buying it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, when he was like, but you're happy that that's the point where you shared it? No, not really.
No.
Obviously, as Milton said, it would have been good to know at the beginning. Yeah. But he also said, if I knew at the beginning, I wouldn't have spoken to her.
And that's the thing. But...
And maybe that's a good thing, Milton.
Yeah, because perfectly honest, this shouldn't have happened. And I'll be perfectly honest, I don't see this couple lasting very long. No offence. I just don't. But we'll see. We will see.
I think I would watch at least 2 episodes of Keeping Up with Lydia and Milton.
I think it'd be wild.
It would just be mostly Lydia being like, tidy up. Yeah. Clean up after yourself.
And then his friends come in to do gaming. We're doing Twitch in the room. Mom. Oh, sorry, Lydia. Can we get some more juice, please?
We're out of juice, guys. As I told you, Milton, you were supposed to go to the shop.
Oh my gosh.
So until you do that, no juice.
But that being said, when he was talking about,
5-minute timeout.
Arranging Lydia's 401k, which is pensions in the UK, like that was very, to me, I was like, wow, Milton, maybe it's a level of maturity that we're not seeing. Or Lydia is incredibly immature.
No, I think he's very mature for his age. As he said, he did college when he was like 15. Yeah. Like, he is probably very mature for his age. that being said, he is also still 24.
Yeah.
And so he does some things that a 24-year-old would do.
True.
I think for Lydia, she's not the most mature person on the planet, because the way that she couldn't read the room when Aaliyah was like literally saying to her, I don't want to hear about this. She was like, he has a dog, the dog loves me. Like, that was a sign of immaturity. That was I want to vomit now. All of this information, so you must hear it.
I don't think she has the highest level of like emotional intelligence.
And also not thinking, this girlie really into Uche. I am not allowed to say that I have fucked Uche.
Yeah.
I should probably stay away from her.
Exactly, because you kept on gravitating yourself towards
you were like,
her.
but we were just so similar. It's like, but
sure.
In hindsight, it's giving you thought that at the end of this, all four of you would be best friends somehow, and you could all spend time together, and isn't this great? And it's like, no,
friend. No. But anyway, that is Love is Blind Series 5. And now it's time for us to move from one messy dating show to another.
Strap up, kids. We're going swimming.
Yeah. All right.
In a cesspool.
Oh, God. I mean, isn't that dating? Now, moving on to our review of the week.
Married at First Sight.
Cool.
So, we are reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 8.
Woo.
Let's just get straight into... premise for anybody who's not familiar. Two people who decide that they are wanting to try something different in love, agree to go on a show and marry someone sight unseen. So it's basically a blind date, but a blind marriage. And then every week you go to a commitment ceremony, and they ask you about how the relationship's going, whether you want to stay together, and if you both want to stay, then you stay. If one of you wants to stay, then you have to stay. If you both vote leave, then you can go home. Let's start.
Okay, we're going to start with Ella and Nathaniel.
I was really nervous at the beginning.
Same.
For Ella, in particular. I think that in the past, sometimes TV shows have used trans women or trans people as a gag or something like a shock value thing.
Yeah.
And I was worried that they would put her in a position where they've matched her with someone who doesn't know she's trans, and then it's going to be a big thing when they find out, and then they'll break up, and then we're basically reinforcing the idea that trans people can't find love because they're abominations or whatever the hell. And actually, what felt nice at the beginning of this was that really, really early on, Nathaniel says that he's pansexual, which means that he's open to dating men, women, and other, which trans people fall into. And so you're like, oh, this actually, not for once, her transness should not be an issue.
Yeah, and I think this, one thing to flag is this is the first season where they've had a transgender contestant in the show. And they also the producers changed kind of like the rules by letting Nathaniel know before the wedding that his bride would be transgendered.
So you're going into it cross fingers. Realistically, you're like, well, actually, not cross fingers. You're thinking, Ella's gender won't be an issue. Nathaniel's gender won't be an issue. It will just be like any of the other couples.
Exactly. The only time when the topic will be brought up is, of course, when they first get married, and then Ella, excuse me, one of the key things at the beginning of the show was that Ella didn't want to reveal her identity to any of the other contestants until the marriage.
Until she had a chance to tell her partner.
Exactly. And so it was at the first big dinner party that she revealed. And, it was just celebrations and hugs and just, people just being really happy for them as a couple and happy for her as well.
So Ella is in her early 20s.
Yeah. Nathaniel
is in his early 30s.
Yeah. He's been on quite a few reality shows, which is a common theme with this season.
Their wedding day is really nice. They just sort of seem to warm to each other immediately. He seems really happy to meet her. There's a lot of kissing. Well, a lot of kissing given these are two people who just met each other. They go off on their honeymoon, and I would say like halfway through the honeymoon, there are, not even halfway, 2 days into the honeymoon, there are cracks.
Yeah.
Ella announces that Nathaniel hasn't tried to kiss her or hold her or anything like that since they got married, and she thought affection is a big deal to her, so she feels very uncertain about where they're at as a couple. Nathaniel reveals to us that he thinks Ella puts on an act. When she's around people, she's like doing the most, but when she is when it's just the two of them, she's more quiet, and he thinks she performs for the cameras, and basically it seems like she's starting to get on his nerves.
Yeah.
And they have an argument about this where he's calling Ella, he's saying that Ella's just performing for the cameras, and Ella calls him fake, and then he gets really upset and he says, do you want me to tell everyone what you told me? Yeah. And he reveals that Ella used to strip. And he says, I didn't want to be matched with a stripper. Which is not something we hear like before them. This is just something that has suddenly... So obviously, on the plane ride over, Ella has shared with him that she used to strip. And Nathaniel is not happy about this. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's where this beginning to lose interest in her started. But he also doesn't want to admit that. So he's like, oh, she's annoying and she's a liar and she this and she's that. When really, I think he just doesn't like the fact that she did sex work before. Yeah. Which, again, a weird hill to die on, I find, people having an issue with sex work.
Yeah, I mean... This was a conversation in the previous season as well, where someone was a stripper and then...
Currently, though. They were currently
a stripper. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But I think also there's two things. So I hadn't started watching Married at First Sight at the beginning. I do, and you know from previous season of this pod, we had talked about Married at First Sight. And when it first came on, I was like, I just can't be asked to watch this other show every single day. Married at First Sight is a commitment if you try and stay up to date with it. But then I saw stuff on the news and on TikTok around Nathaniel and Ella and their story. And then Nathaniel was going to press and like basically breaking his NDA, saying that not only did he not want to marry a stripper, he didn't want to marry a feminine woman.
He basically wanted a man.
He wanted to marry a man. But
then he shouldn't have come on the show and said he was pansexual. He should have come on and said, hi, for the sake of this program, I'm gay.
Yeah, but allegedly he told producers that he wants to marry a man. He didn't want to marry a feminine woman. But then the producers pressured him to say yes, because, he said the producers had told him that, they have a trans bride and you are ruining the opportunity for her to tell her story.
Well, I'm not being funny. I still find that...
wild.
It's wild if they said that, 100%. But what I think is wild is what does that matter to you, Nathaniel? Yeah. If you really don't want to do this, go home. The truth is, you wanted to be on TV.
Yeah. He's from Geordie Shore fame.
You wanted to be on TV and you were hoping that you'd be, find a way to, turn this into something.
Yeah.
Instead, they have this big fight on the honeymoon. Ella arranges a dinner where they could sort of resolve things and he decides not to come to the dinner. So she spends the final night on her own.
Yeah.
They come back and they decide to move into the houses together, but there's still no affection. At the first couple's dinner, maybe, or the first commitment ceremony, he admits that he is not attracted to her, that he requires a connection with someone, to know who you are, needs to get under your skin.
He's basically trying to say he's sapiosexual, where it's about the...
Or demisexual.
The demisexual, when you
need to know someone before you can...
Yeah. I feel like I have a level of demisexuality.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I know some people don't as well.
Yeah, some is physical, but
But I also feel that I feel like people use on this show. You'll notice that there is no. It's either it's 0 or it's 100. It's never the person will be like, I need some kind of affection, hold my hand or give me a kiss. And the person will be like, I don't want to have sex with you.
Yeah.
It's well, I don't know why you're going straight to that. But what I'm saying is tell me that you like me.
Yeah.
Give me a hug in the morning. Maybe pinch my bum. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're oh, you're trying to pressure me into having sex with you. It's is this really really, I think for a lot of people, intimacy is sex.
Yeah.
And the idea of, like, to them, it's like, well, why would I hug you? Because that's nothing. Or, if I'm hugging you, it means we're going to have sex. And there is no just a hug for the sake of a hug. Like, intimacy is sex, or it's nothing.
Yeah.
And equally, for the people that want that, for Ella, the desire to, like, the fact that she only feels secure in a relationship if it's been physically reciprocated is also a problem.
Yeah.
Because lots of people can have sex with people that they don't care about.
Very true.
So, by having sex with you doesn't mean that I care about you either. There has to be a balance of the two.
Yeah.
And the problem with Ella and Nathaniel is Nathaniel only wants the one thing and Ella only wants the other.
And that's not a relationship. Again, you are on married at first sight, not dating at first sight. Like, and I think that there's a level of not understanding that this is a real commitment, and it takes work on both sides to make sure that we are both compromising to make sure each one of us are getting needs that we want and serving the love languages that are probably stronger on one than the other. Like, not everyone will have them equal love languages of, like, physical touch or quality time. It was very disjointed as to what each person wanted from the relationship, and also not willing to put into the relationship either. So probably more on Nathaniel's side, him being, like, a bit more distant to actually do the work.
There's a level of Nathaniel's thing where he thinks he's better than Ella. I think that's what the problem is as well. Like, it's very much looking down on Ella. Oh, I'm the superior one because what I want is a mental connection rather than a physical. Like, it's very base. It's very immature to want to just hug someone or fuck someone. Like, I'm evolved. I'm an evolved human being. But also, like you said, a relationship requires, like, honestly, if you and I vibe mentally but we never touch each other, we're friends. Dude.
Yeah.
So there has to be some sort of physical intimacy. And even if, like, as you know, I have a friend whose partner is asexual. They don't have sex.
Yeah.
They don't have sex, but they they are still intimate with each other. Intimacy is not just sex.
I know.
So there are lots of people who have fulfilling relationships where they don't have sex, but it still does require some intimacy.
Yeah.
I need to do something with you that I don't do with everybody else. Even if it's just holding hands or hugging or cuddling on the sofa. Like, I have a lot of friends that I love dearly, but I'm not sitting and watching a movie with them with my arms around them.
No.
Like, it's just not that. It's never that.
No.
You know?
No, I was going to say, at all?
I thought you would be like, what about me?
No. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like maybe my sister, someone that I'm close with, and we may touch, but after a while, like, get off me, fam.
I don't like, I actually just don't like touching people.
Off me, fam.
I remember when my sister was ill, I gave her a hug and she was like, okay, enough.
Huh?
I was like, damn, we're so, like, we're just not affectionate in that way. That whenever you are an affectionate person, they're just like, okay, leave me alone.
No,
even though this is exactly the time that you want someone to give you a hug, it's just like, don't touch me.
It was when I figured out, like, for instance, my sister's love language, then I understood a bit more, like, how she respects affection. Her her love language is physical touch. I'm like, oh, she actually does love the hugs and, like, the bit more of, like, the touchy-feely, whereas growing up, I really was not that, and it made so much more sense.
Your sister is actually quite huggy. For a person I know very, like, you know, tangentially.
Yeah.
I remember whenever we'd bump into her in
Always
school,
hug you guys.
Which
I was like, I don't hug them.
And she's so tiny.
Yeah, she's so small. I'm like, why are you hugging them? I don't even like them. I'm joking.
Yeah, she does.
She loves you guys.
We know.
I know. And you guys love her.
And we love her.
It's just so unfair.
She's like the fun version of you.
I really disagree because we have different levels of fun. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. She's the fun version.
Yeah, but I am fun.
You're
in a
the
different
business
way.
version.
Yeah, fine. We're all gonna have fun in the end, just in a different direction. There's a different route.
I just think
it's the same destination of
Let
fun.
your sister have this. It's not every day we get to share. Let your sister have this toy. You can have a different toy.
She is the fun one. She is fun. But I will say with Ellen and Nathaniel, which was quite interesting, is that we start getting new couples, which we'll go into in a bit more detail later on. But we start getting new couples in. One of the new couples coming through was JJ and Bianca.
Before we get to the JJ and Bianca thing, I just wanted to say, before we get to this, which this next bit will highlight even more, but like with both Nathaniel and Ella, and I think again this is a problem with a lot of these dating shows, they need to be in, Ella particularly needs to be in therapy.
100%.
This is not the show. Like, the one thing about this show that winds me up is the experts will say, you need to do X. if this person was capable of doing X, they wouldn't be on this show, right? They would have found the love of their life. They're on this show saying, oh, I really just want to connect with someone deeply. And then as soon as they are given the option to do that, decide to only connect with that person carnally, and then are like, oh, I'm just not feeling it. It's like, yeah, because you haven't tried to connect with them deeply.
Yeah.
And Ella's problem, like I was saying, is in order to feel secure in a relationship, she needs to feel wanted physically.
Yeah.
But that is because I'm assuming she's never experienced the other thing.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't know how to receive the other thing. And you can't learn that on this show.
Oh, no.
Like, she couldn't even really learn it with Nathaniel if he was being affectionate. Because all she would take from that is, well, he must like me because he kisses me all the time and he hugs me and we make out. She wouldn't understand that, like, he's also trying to connect with you on a deeper level because we're married.
Yeah.
Like, we should be thinking about where we're going to live. Are we going to have children? What happens to our parents when they get older? Do they come and live with us? Are we going to, like, Ella cares for her grandmother.
Yes, I forgot.
So what would happen there? Like, these are big, important questions that you would figure out with your partner. And there is never an inkling that Ella wants to talk about those things. The only thing she seems obsessed with and preoccupied by is the physical. And obviously there is no way that's not linked to her gender identity. Because as she says at the beginning of the series, it's taken her a lot of time and she's worked very hard to have her outside match her inside. And now she is that person. She doesn't really know who she is beyond that thing. And that is a person who needs time to grow. They need maybe therapy to grow. What they don't need is to be on a dating show surrounded by people who don't have similar issues, because that is going to affect you even more.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting because Ella had been trans for quite a while, like a bit of a decade. I was so keen to know, and they cover it very, very briefly when they go through their VT and their background, is how, like, her previous relationships and how they were, because
she said they were all physical and they all wanted to jump on her.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because you're right, she doesn't understand what it is to have a deep relationship. And again, if you've not been or had a relationship before, the last thing you want to do, or the last thing you should do, is go on a reality show, because it's not allowing you to understand what a commitment looks like. So new couples come in. One of the new couples is JJ and Bianca, and from the get-go there is some physical, basically they have the exact same situation, exactly, like, but basically JJ's type has been very much influencer looking, big busty, boobs, Kardashian-esque, basically. Yeah, exactly. A bit more on the I don't want to say it, but a bit more on the, like, plastic surgery. Yeah, it's vibes. Yeah. So that's his type, and he's been so used to having that one type, and his relationships have just never really. I think he said
that his ex cheated on him, right?
Yeah, I think so. He said that him or Jordan, one of the two. Yeah.
It was him.
Yeah, and so he wants a different type so he can get a deeper relationship, and that's why he came and married at first sight. And he was paired up with Bianca, who I would say is definitely not Kardashian-esque in terms of her looks.
She's like petite and peroxide blonde, to be fair.
Yeah, she is. But very soft spoken, very quiet. Yeah. And you could tell it's not his usual type. And then when Ella and JJ meet within the rest of the other couples, Ella had a bit of a liking to
Ella's a flirt.
She's a flirting with him. Yeah, she was flirting with JJ, and JJ was reciprocating as well. And JJ definitely made it clear, like, Ella is his type. That's the kind of type he looks for. So you can see that there is a physical spark. Mind you, even when they've met up. So again, by this point, when Ella is starting to engage with JJ, her relationship with Nathaniel is going downhill fast. Like, there's nothing going on. They're sleeping in separate rooms.
So before again, the things with JJ Rampart, they have a in-laws visit.
Yeah.
And Nathaniel, like, friends don't visit, and I remember thinking that's really weird. And also, he didn't bother to stay.
No,
he went out. So at that point, it was like trouble in paradise. But if I'm being honest, I feel like the producers orchestrated because how convenient that both of them had basically gone off to stay on their own to go on their little date together. It felt very orchestrated. But Nathaniel had decided that he was tired of trying to be someone for Ella that he wasn't. Equally, Ella was starting to feel like, and when her friend comes to visit, she says it's confirmed for her that Nathaniel doesn't like her. He's never going to like her, and they should give it up.
Yeah.
So at that point, Ella does decide to text JJ, who at the same time has told Bianca, "Oh, this is just too difficult for me. I need some time to really figure out where my head's at, so I'm going to go stay by myself for a bit." And they go on a snooker date. Well, they're saying it's not a date. God knows what they're calling it. But basically, the two of them, unlike anybody else on the show, get to go and hang out with each other.
Yeah. 101.
101. And it's filmed.
Yeah. So they have a little snooker date. And I'll be honest, there wasn't much conversation. I was like, yeah, you look nice. Yeah, you look good. You're my type. You're my type. There was nothing deep about it, which I think is right up Ella's street in terms of her relationships. They just were oogling at each other. JJ just looking at her breasts probably the whole time. It was just, there was nothing of substance there, but they're saying there's a connection there, and then it gets revealed at the dinner party that, you know, they'll be meeting up. That's when JJ tells Bianca that he's not interested in her anymore. Nathaniel makes a big outburst going like, I feel betrayed.
You guys are liars.
You guys are liars. I mean, Peggy had told him, and we'll talk about Peggy soon, but Peggy had told him that, you know, they had messed up. So he was just like...
Peggy or Laura?
Laura. Peggy looks like, yeah. Laura had told him. So it's just like, by that point, as we all know, Ella and Nathaniel are pretty much done, and JJ and Bianca are
I think Nathaniel leaves the experiment, actually.
He does, yeah. I mean, I thought when he said I'm gone, I was thinking, oh, maybe he's coming back for the commitment ceremony the next day, but...
He's left the experiment.
He's done, yeah. Which I think, given that in these commitment ceremonies, for context, the experts say that the only time you can leave the experiment is if both parties say leave. But the thing is, we are seeing that really doesn't... You can't tell people what to do, where to go, and where to stay, and when they want to leave. Because if they want to leave, or they have to leave, then they will go, and you can't force them to stay. But anyway, let's move on to slightly calmer waters. Jay and Luke.
So Jay and Luke fucking suck. Sorry, they do. Like, there is always, every season, there's a couple who, like, have an absolutely lovely wedding.
Yeah.
Have a great honeymoon. There are no problems. And then halfway through, you hear something where it's like, oh, she hates dogs and I have 15 dogs. And you're like, well, how are you two going to get past that?
True.
In this case, these two are loved up, and Jay's sister comes to visit, and Luke's like, I'm never moving up north.
Yeah.
That's just never going to happen. And then Jay's like, I also don't want to move down south.
And then that's it. To me, that's the end of the conversation.
Why are you even having absolute conversations like, I would never do that?
This.
Why are you
never
even
do
in
this.
the experiment then?
Yeah, because to be honest, if you knew, and we're in season 8 by this point, you have seen that you could be matched with anyone from anywhere. That's why you're putting this hope and your faith into the experts, that they're going to match me with someone that I think is compatible. You have to realise when you're in the marriage, you have to make the compromise. The compromise in this case is distance, and no one's willing to budge. So to me, this relationship is dead in the water, and it's quite sad because out of all the couples, they felt like the most stable. Like when they got married, they felt so compatible in terms of their personality and their vibe. I know that Jay was worried because she wasn't sure if Luke would be attracted to her. So just for context, Jay was born without her left arm, and for her that's been a barrier in terms of her relationships. There was a fear that, she may get to the aisle and then her groom will be like, no, I'm not interested. But
well, that was really cool as well. It's got loads of tattoos on it.
It's really cool, yeah. So she's incredible. She's so beautiful, and she's got an amazing personality, and you can see how they vibe. Like Luke and her vibe.
They have the exact same humour. It's disgusting.
But I think that's great. Like you want to have someone that gets
but it's all that
laddie
humour. It's
but it's fine. Like to me, I think it works. Like if they can get along with each other. Like Luke said the minute he saw her, he was like, this is my friend. Like I can get along with her. Like we just get on and it's fun. Then they had the physical attraction because they were just having sex every day. Like they had stuff that Nathaniel and Ella did not have. So, and I think that they felt quite stable. So it's only recently.
No, you're right. Everything to this point has been going so smoothly. That's why I was very surprised to hear that I'm not moving up north.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone up north. You'd have me.
Me.
You're away.
And also, people
move places.
People move. Yeah, like I lived up north for 3 years for uni. Like I can always come back down south.
You didn't have a husband.
Yeah, and it was fine. And everyone, the thing is, people up north are a lot kinder than people down south.
Ooh.
No offense.
Let's start. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. That is a big issue that they're just deciding they're not going to talk about.
Yeah.
The other thing is Luke has become... Well, he hasn't just become. He's a meddler.
Yeah.
And as we've maybe mentioned on the podcast before, I can't remember, so I'm going to say it very briefly here again. Married at First Sight is a dating show with a very... It's a bit like Perfect Match in that, like, there is a very clear competitive streak amongst the couples to be the quote-unquote best couple. Yeah. Even though nobody is going to be graded on being the best couple. Everybody's constantly talking about, do you think we're the best couple? Who do you think the best couple is? And to be fair, the show even asks some questions like that.
Yeah.
So they obviously think they're the best couple.
Oh, yeah.
And the problem when that happens is you start to meddle enough for people. Like, I don't know if it's because you're trying to get rid of the competition or what, or you just think you're so set that you can start giving advice to other people. But you have been in this experiment for as long as I have.
Yeah.
So you don't know more than I do in this.
Yeah.
So what I need you to do is just be quiet and support me, not be doing up, and I feel this and I feel that.
Like, no one cares.
So earlier in the season, Portia and some of the other contestants, Jay included, play a game of spin the bottle. Portia's husband, Terrence, is not there. Jay... I'm assuming Luke isn't there because she's telling Luke the next day what happened. So it's not like only Portia's husband wasn't there. But they play a game of spin the bottle, and apparently Portia kisses 4 guys. They don't say who these 4 guys are. Yeah. Which you would assume it would be other people in the show, right? So I thought it was really interesting that they decided not to mention who it was that she kissed. Yeah. And Jay tells Luke. At the dinner, Luke then tells George. Yeah. Who needs to know for reasons I don't know. Yeah. George and Luke are like, I personally just think that's disgusting. We've got to tell Terrence, I would never do that. I would never do that. Yeah, so then it becomes an issue between George and Portia more than even Portia and Terrence.
I mean, when they're fighting in French, I'm like, what's going on?
I was like, this feels like an old married couple who've been arguing for years, where they've started arguing at the dinner table in French so that other people can't hear what they're arguing about.
Exactly.
And Peggy was just sitting there. I'd have been like, what the hell is this? Like, so when did you two both realise you could speak French and argue in French with each other?
I know, I was so confused. I was like, I didn't know, but I mean...
And that's why I feel like...
Something happened between... maybe... But in my head, I'm just like, maybe they'd both realise that Portia's from a French colony.
If Portia had been matched with George, she would still be in the show.
Potentially.
And he would still be in the show.
Potentially. I mean,
because they'd be probably bumping butts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But, I think the thing about Luke, which I didn't realise...
That's what we were talking about, Luke. So that's the first time he meddles. Yeah. The second time more recently, at the time where I was like... I think it's over for Luke and Jay as a couple that I like, is that when this thing is happening between Bianca, JJ, Ella and Nathaniel, Jordan, who's one of the other boys, is talking and he says, I think that JJ should have told Bianca before the party. Because she shouldn't have to find out like that. She's your spouse, she's the person you're supposed to be closest to in this show, like she deserves a heads up. And Luke is like, well, he didn't know that he liked Ella. He was like, yeah, but he texted her. So he's like, yeah, he texted her, but he didn't know he liked her. Yeah. She's like, yeah, I know, but you guys are now standing up together saying that you've got feelings for each other. So what I'm saying is, why couldn't he? And then Luke goes, are you fucking stupid?
That was it.
Which I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, again, when I saw that, I was like, something like that happened off screen. For you to get so mad at this new boy, because this guy is new.
It's the same with Erica and Tasha. Yeah. Maybe these kids came on and they were like, suck my dick or something before.
Like, all these new kids coming in going, challenging the old OGs because we've been here for a long time.
And Erica and Jordan did say once, I think we're the best couple. Yeah. So obviously these old people who've been here for ages who think they're the best couple are like, oh, I'll show you who's the best couple. Yeah. I don't give a heck. I've come here to find my husband. I don't care if we're the best couple or the worst couple. If I'm happy with my man,
that's it. But
you are grown-ups.
Yeah. But the thing is, rumour has it, and it may come out by the time this episode comes out, is that Luke and Jordan are going to have a fight. And allegedly,
well, the way he spoke to Jordan and that thing, I wouldn't be surprised. It really came out of nowhere. It felt very aggressive. It felt very much like, they had been having a fight for years. And it seemed to catch Jordan by surprise. And I think if it is stuff that's happening off screen, then Jordan and Erica are great actors because they act completely blindsided every time it happens. And if it's not, they are genuinely confused as to why people really, really don't seem to like them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and rumour also has it that Luke is going to leave the show, or he's going to be kicked off the show for that very reason, because of the violence or fight that happens. And I already start to see some things on TikTok, so which seems to kind of confirm
Jordan
that's
is
going.
talking,
and so is Luke. Like I saw Luke's one first, then Jordan's one afterwards. I was like, come on, guys. Like, this show needs to finish before you start doing all your chatty, patty.
The NDAs, I feel like the reason why the NDAs are not working anymore is because people feel like they can gain more notoriety online than they can from the show. Yeah. So rather than wait for the show to dictate their narrative, they've decided they're just going to take hold of it on the internet.
100%. So, and with Luke going, Jay will have to go too. And if they're not going to move north or south, I think it's the end. So it's a shame because I actually had a lot of hope for this relationship. But I just think that maybe deep down, something that Luke said about Jay is that she's not the most confrontational person, i.e., like, if something was happening, he would expect... If something was happening...
Luke or her sister, because her sister also says she's a people pleaser.
I think the both of them, they both imply that if something was happening that wasn't, like, to Jay's liking, she wouldn't say anything. Whereas most people would be like, okay, Luke, you did this and I don't like it. Because she's a bit of a people pleaser, and I think I can relate to Jay in some of that aspect, that you don't want to create any confrontation or raise an alarm, so you kind of keep quiet and keep it to yourself. But that can also be detrimental because you just hold things in until you explode. And it seems like it's come out of the thin air, but actually it's just been things that you've been not very happy with. And when Jay is given the opportunity to speak up, she hasn't been. So that's what Luke has kind of been putting out anyway. But I don't know whether he's now trying to find the cracks because he knows that this relationship isn't going to go anywhere because no one's willing to move.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why they can't just live in the middle. Like, live in London.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, I think London is actually too south. Yeah. He lives in Essex. He'll be moving even more south.
Yeah, but what is Essex? Is London versus York?
Right, so go live in Leeds then. Why would you go live in London, which is further south than Essex? You said live in the middle, and then you said London.
I forgot. Yeah. Sorry.
Like,
where is the middle? Where is the middle? Go and live in Cambridge or Oxford. Some of those nice cities.
Yeah, like all the Midlands.
Yeah,
Bolton,
yeah.
But not London.
Okay, yeah, but the only reason I say London is because even though it's a bit further south, it's easy to commute to everywhere, like to your hometowns respectively. Anyway, let's move on because I feel like there will be more chat. I think London's...
I don't remember the geography of the UK, and I just
but either way,
Bristol.
Actually, Bristol's really nice. Bristol's very nice. We're gonna move on to Laura and Arthur. Fabulous. There wasn't much to talk about with this couple because
they started off it was quite explosive at the beginning. I thought, like, Laura, they really tried to make out as this sort of
Made in Chelsea
wannabe.
Yeah.
Arthur is I guess this is a new trope for Married at First Sight, but they will get a Polish guy who lived in the UK, who moved to the UK as a teenager on the show. Yeah. But they have a very specific personality type, which is constantly trying to pretend that they're something that they're not.
True.
We had that last year with the guy who was coupled with that girl who I really liked, but everybody hated, the black girl.
Oh.
The guy who was a stripper.
Oh my gosh.
But lied and said he
wasn't.
No,
you mean Duca?
Yeah.
It's him. Yeah.
Arthur is this year's Duca, except for Arthur is a little bit more charismatic.
Yeah.
And Laura actually likes Arthur.
Yeah.
And Arthur's story, like, I personally, in his, like, VT, I was like, Arthur seems kind of nice. Like, came over here, fell in love with tennis, now he's a tennis coach. Like, I like this for him.
Yeah.
You then get to the wedding and he prints off some vows from the internet.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that it's not truly written from the heart, and it becomes an issue between him and Laura. But then when she addresses it with him, he apologises, he makes an effort to try and be more genuine, and by the end of the honeymoon he rewrites their vows, which I thought was quite romantic.
Really sweet,
for someone, and not provoked by anything either. It was just, a sweet thing, and they've been quite strong actually. There's not been an issue from that recently, because the
friends came over, the in-laws.
Yeah, and they were like,
I don't know how you feel about it.
bit snooty about him still.
I mean, because the only thing they remember from him is that he didn't write his vows.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the weird things was when he said that he loved her in the vows, and I was like, you don't know her.
Yeah, but he said that he didn't write those vows anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously didn't mean that.
No, exactly. So that was the only red flag. But actually, when he came back and said, "Oh, I wrote my own vows," I mean, he shouldn't have said it took 10 minutes.
It took 10 minutes. But do you know what he should say? It took 10 minutes because, like, obviously once I knew her, it just flowed out of me.
Oh, that's true. That's
idiot.
That was so smooth. So smooth.
That is what hearing 10 minutes you'd be like, huh? Yeah. But I feel like it took 10 minutes because now I know what I'm gonna write about you. But yeah, I feel like him, as much you could lived in this country your entire life. Apparently, if you're a man who was born in Poland, you will always not be able to speak English incredibly.
No, it's just not smooth.
Yeah, and he says, like, I really like Laura. I think the only problem is, though, like, she likes to do, like, intellectual stuff. Like, she likes to have intellectual conversations. And I like to just sort of, like, chill out. He is a himbo.
Yeah, he's
a himbo. Like, there is nothing going on upstairs apart from play tennis, hang out with the boys, love.
But I just think that you kind of need that balance with the... Like, because Laura can be quite a big personality. Yeah. And having Arthur, who is... not much going on. It's that nice balance. It's like when I watched the Beckham documentary. Like, I mean, I'm not saying.
That is that. Yeah, he is a himbo.
He's a himbo.
She is Victoria Beckham.
Yeah, exactly. And they balance each other so well, and they have banter, and so I really like them as a couple. And weirdly, if you told me this at the beginning when I started watching it, who would be like the couples that I felt the most stable? This couple wouldn't be it. It would be like a Jay and Luke. It would have been like Paul and Tasha, which we'll talk about them at one point, but...
That was the other thing that Luke did.
What did he do?
Strike 3. And this really bothered me, actually.
What did he do?
When he was like, I don't like Laura. I think she's a gold digger.
Oh my gosh, I forgot he said that.
And then she started crying.
Yeah, I forgot he said that.
And she pulled him aside and she was like, I don't like people calling me a gold digger because, in fact, first of all, she was like, everything I got, my dad gave me. Which I was like...
Shut up.
You almost had me that because I worked for everything I had. It's like... I inherited it from my dad, and it wasn't nice because he died. He had to die for that to happen. So that was the first thing. And she said the other thing was my partner, because she was married before.
Oh yes.
Pretty much married her for her money and took her money when he left.
Yeah.
So like money is a big thing to her, and the idea of being positioned as a gold digger by someone who doesn't know her, especially because he said, "Oh, I heard she likes guys in Chelsea, so she must be a gold digger." You've never even met me before. You don't know anything about me. No. Who said I need your money? Maybe I just want to hang out with someone who likes skiing.
Yeah, true.
Who likes going to fancy restaurants. Like, I like going to fancy... I never asked you to pay for it. I said, I like those kind of boys.
My lifestyle.
She tells him this whole thing. And he's like, well, it's my opinion.
Yeah, the thing is...
How can you have an opinion of something I'm telling you is factually untrue? I am not a gold digger. Well, my opinion is you're a gold digger. Cool.
I feel like Luke is like borderline a producer plant because... And I figured this...
I think he's a misogynist.
Yeah, he's also that as well. Like, I discovered on TikTok, I think you may have shared it to me as well, like, a lot of the contestants from this season have been on other reality shows beforehand. Luke had been on, I think, maybe Celebs Go Dating or some other show. So he knows how this TV thing works. And the minute I saw that, my heart kind of sank because I realised, well, I'm not saying, being on reality TV is bad, but in the same breath, I'm also like... But for you to come back again on another show, I don't think it's all genuine for the love.
No, 100% it's not.
But I'm not surprised by his
Why
behavior.
would you come on here to be a villain?
Yeah, true. But you're more memorable as a villain than you are as this thing. So.
I mean, listen, everything you need to know about Luke is that he's got a tattoo of a musical note behind his ear. What does that even say?
I didn't even
the most generic tattoo you've ever seen. That's when you know someone is unhinged because you actually paid money to go and sit in a tattoo parlour and have them tattoo on a double clef on the back of your ear. No. Something you will never see yourself because you don't see the back of your ear. Who was that for?
For everyone else.
Sicko.
No, it's for you to know that.
And you're not a musician. You can't sing. You can't play no instruments.
It's like for you to know that he can hear the music. Anyway, let's move on to Peggy and George.
Sick man. Peggy and George.
Yeah.
So, speaking of people who've been on TV shows before, Peggy
and George
was on Take Me Out.
Oh yes, I saw.
Unrecognisable. I said they must have put the wrong picture.
Yeah, so
Peggy.
I was, because I saw it like a TikTok carousel. I kept on flicking between each one to see like what is the difference. Yeah, because I was like, I don't know who this girl is.
Who is this?
And it's not just a change in hair, because if you've seen the photos, she's brunette in Take Me Out and blonde in Married at First Sight. But it's not
new
just
lips, new cheeks, new jaw.
Yeah,
a different person.
Yeah.
Which actually, if you're gonna go on multiple dating shows, you might as well change it up.
Yeah, true.
Like, you've never seen me before. And you're right,
true.
I would never have known.
Yeah.
I would never have known.
Yeah.
Peggy's whole thing is, people look at me and they think I'm just a dumb blonde, but I actually work I'm a scientist. And I was like, work. I feel like this season they're really going out of their way to get these, like, I'm a woman who looks like just a dumb blonde Barbie. I actually have a job.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Love is Blind. Everyone was like scientists and intellectuals, and everyone was dumb.
No, I'm not saying that they're
show.
not. I'm just saying that, like, I just find that they're like, we're challenging stereotypes. You think that they're just glamour, they're going to be glamour models or something, but they're actually normal women, and you're like, okay,
great,
work. So that's Peggy. There's really nothing else to say about her. George.
Oh, she's a bit. Well, as we come to find out later in the show, she's a bit more on the conservative side in terms of her views.
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
George is like, I'm a Bantosaurus Rex. I love to drink and I love tits. I love sex. That's how they introduce it.
It's true. Like, I just like to be controversial. I love to make jokes.
And then they pair them together and I think, oh, what? I didn't see it. Like, this is Peggy looking at the two of them like, Peggy's out of George's league.
Well, because George is attractive.
Yeah, but at first I was Peggy is out of George's league.
Yeah.
Like, on paper, if you were to make an assessment of these two people, you're like, oh yeah, Peggy's a 10, George is like a 4.
Yeah.
Then George is like telling her about his hobbies. He's like, I like to YouTube, I stream. I was like, you are digging yourself into a hole.
Yeah.
Babe. He has a chat with Peggy's sister at the wedding. And while he's talking to her, he's like winking, making faces at other people. And she's like, excuse me, while I'm talking to you, don't be winking at other people. Digging his hole even further. I said, these two aren't going to make it.
No. I was like, this guy is here for fun. Fun only.
They're not going to make it.
Yeah.
They get to the honeymoon. And I will say, I do feel sorry for men and or women, I'm sure this happens, who get into situations simply from us answering like a hypothetical question that they're not thinking about.
Yeah.
Which is that, like, I don't know how they got into this topic, and she was like, if I wanted to do sex work, would you be okay with that? And obviously, George is thinking, like, it's 2023, men aren't allowed to tell women what they can and can't do anymore. So he says, if you wanted to do that, I will support you. And she's like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, sorry, what I wanted you to say is that you wouldn't want your wife to do sex work. And he's like, what I'm saying though is that if that's what you wanted to do, it's like, no, what I want is for you to say you don't want me to do that. And then she gets really upset and leaves.
Yeah.
Like, storms off. And I was like, what a bizarre conversation. You put a hypothetical to him that he answered hypothetically, but you are getting real life mad.
Right. About something that does not exist.
You are not a sex worker.
No, and
so
you're not
the problem.
And you're not going to go into sex work. So what is the issue?
Very weird.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you have that conversation and then couple it to the fact that when George is talking about his background in work and that he does streaming, and in the streaming there's a number of different challenges or baguettes, I think, where the
No, that's not a challenge.
I can't remember how he described.
They buy baguettes.
They buy baguettes, and then
which is the money that goes into his pocket.
Yeah, and then as
if you buy a certain amount of baguettes,
he can give you a kind of a reward or a thank you. And sometimes they may ask him to do certain things like squatting.
I think he gives them options. I don't think they're allowed to ask him anything because it would be like chop your penis off. So I think he's like, you can either have me doing squats or this or that. And people might choose the squats.
The rimming thing.
No, that rimming. I don't
know where that came from.
No, that comes in later. We'll come back to that. But he can't do that on stream.
Yeah.
So he says that, like, oh yeah, and then he says this as a joke because he really didn't think it was going to be a big deal. Sometimes what I'll do once people have like bought a certain number of baguettes is I'll do squats.
Sometimes clothes, sometimes with less clothes, but Still
he said
clothes.
in shorts.
In shorts.
He said in shorts.
Yeah, but I know that...
I don't trust the sister or him because the sister also said she hadn't watched the video.
Well, I did end up seeing the video because someone put it on TikTok. And he's in boxers, I would say.
So, okay, but that's not naked.
No, it's not naked.
Anyway.
It's a bit unorthodox, but, you know.
Peggy is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I just do squats. He's like, you think that's okay to do squats? I was like, oh my goodness. So he's not even allowed to bend down. He's not allowed to bend down. If your husband's got a big dump truck,
I mean,
and he gifts it to people when they give him money, what's the problem?
I mean, it is a big ass.
He's got a dumpy.
Yeah, it does.
And he knows he's got a dumpy.
Yeah.
And he likes to show his dumpy to people.
I mean, would you want your husband to do that?
I don't give a heck.
I wouldn't.
You're Peggy though, that's obvious.
I am Peggy.
You're Peggy,
I am Peggy.
and I'm not
But
Peggy.
the thing is, it's like, again, I would not be on the show, so... I'm not Peggy.
One thing I was like,
I mean, I would say maybe now you're married, you should not be doing... Now you're with me, you should not be doing that. And that's why George just said, like, now I'm married, I won't be doing that. Which I respected.
I mean, the internet lasts forever. Like, you've already done it.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
So...
But I wouldn't want you to continue dumping and squatting.
In what Peggy said, which I was like, I hadn't thought about this. It's like, I don't want my like friends or family or co-workers to put up videos of my husband doing that.
Which I agree.
They already can. It's already out there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that means continue doing it, but what I'm saying about like, are you going to stop now? You're my husband. Okay, but that's not to stop that tomorrow your colleague can't pull up a video of your husband doing it because he's already done it.
Yeah, I agree. It is what it is. It's already happened. But I think out of respect for his committed wife, I think that he would stop doing it.
I just don't know why that would be a problem. Like, what are the consequences of this? Someone goes, is this a picture of your husband? I go, yes.
I just don't want my children seeing your ass squatting.
They see your ass squatting in the house all the time.
Yeah, in the cover of our four walls of our house, not on TV or on the internet. I just feel...
But you're actually, your kids won't see it. It already exists.
I don't have a problem. Like, it is what it is. It's happening now.
So what's going to happen when your kids see the video and it's from 18 years ago, or they see the video and it's from 8 minutes ago?
I don't want it to be 8 minutes ago because you were married to me. Why should anyone be seeing the ass that I see every day?
I just don't understand. That's what, okay, that's the issue. The possessiveness that you have over another human being. I'm married to you, but I don't own you.
It's not possessiveness.
I'm married to you, but I don't own you.
Okay, so
your bum being... You're dressed as well. If it was, like I said, if he was opening his asshole to the internet to show people, then we have a problem.
No, wait, hold up.
But he could go outside in shorts and go for a run and bare people could see his ass. And I'm supposed to what? Run behind him and cover him with a coat?
No, I'm just saying that let us be real. Him squatting there's something sexual about it. Let us be real about it.
If you infer the sexuality from it.
Come on. Out all the rewards he could have done. There's plenty of other rewards he could do out there. And he chose to do the squatting because he knew he got a big ass.
Now, what I'm saying is, your correlation
okay, go on.
does not automatically mean sex.
No, I know it doesn't.
So,
it doesn't.
If somebody at home has decided to infer sexuality from a video, is this my fault?
So, are you telling me that you would be squatting on TV?
If that's what I did, if I streamed...
But I'm saying that there's other things he could do. It's not like... Because he even said
that
there's other rewards.
What I find interesting is, none of you guys run a channel.
Oh my god.
Listen, I'm being real. None of you guys run a channel.
I mean, we run the Scripts and Giggles channels. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Do run that. We do run
yeah.
That. But Becky doesn't run a channel.
No, she doesn't.
This guy's been doing YouTube for how long?
I
don't think that the squatting came out of nowhere, right?
No.
Maybe the squatting is what has driven people to his page.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's boosting his numbers, putting money in his pocket, whatever it is. I'm sure that there was a thought process behind it. What I find kind of patronising is that you think you're the only person who's going to walk in and with sense tell me that now you're married, you can't do this. Now I'm married, maybe I don't stream anymore. There's lots of things I might not do. But I don't need you to dictate to me what I'm not going to do.
No,
I will come to that understanding myself based on my respect for you, not on you dictating to me what I should do out of respect for you. If you don't already have that in your heart, I
100% get your perspective. And I would hope that
100%.
George would, out of respect for his wife and the commitment, that he would decide not to do it. But in the same breath, I do believe that once you are married, there are certain things that you will not do anymore.
But you can already see in this couple, George saying, I am making compromises for her, and she's not making any for me.
Okay,
because
we're going to
happening...
move back to Peggy and George, because I was given this scenario of, like, if my husband was squatting on TV.
Yeah, and I'm saying the same with my husband, I don't care. But what I'm saying is, this is my problem with stuff like that, my problem with, if my husband didn't, I'd have a problem with it, is if that was the one thing, everything else he did that was perfect, and that was one thing, actually fair enough. It's fair enough for you to be like, I love you, I love everything about you. This one thing though, I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Everything that George does, everything that makes George who he is, sadly, like, I'm honestly, the guy that George was when he came in, I would not be interested in him. No. He's not my kind of guy. No. What Peggy's trying to do is mould him into the guy that she wants, sorry. Yeah. And sometimes that works, right? Sometimes it's like, this guy was ready to mature and he just needs you to come in and give him the push. And sometimes all that person is doing is totting up all the stuff that you're making them do that's not who they are, so that they can be someone to you. And he said in the last episode, like the last time we saw him, like, I feel like I will never be good enough or perfect enough for Peggy. And it's like, because these two are not a match.
No, but it makes me curious to know what type of guy Peggy asked for, because when I saw them as a couple and the wedding, I was like, these are polar opposites. And I know the producers can do mad things for TV.
They only do mad things for TV. They don't care about matching people up.
I know, but it just makes me feel like, at one point I was thinking, are we missing something with George? It's like, is it deep down, there's a really nice, soft side of him that will make Peggy and him connect? Or is it the fact that with at least every season there's one couple that's so polar opposite and you know it's not going to work from the get-go, but they matched them for the drama? And were they expecting Peggy and George to be the drama, but actually didn't realise they had Ella and Nathaniel, they had Portia and Terence, they had Luke and Jay, they had all these couples just ready to go, but they thought this would be the one that would be the fiery opposite attract.
I honestly did feel that way on their wedding day. I thought, you guys have just put these two people together because they were left. They were like the two people left. I don't think you actually think that they're going to be a couple. And honestly, I'm surprised by how well they've done so far. But I just don't think that you can mould someone into someone that they're not.
And also, one thing that George has flagged is like, they're not physical. They're not
and that's something that's important to him.
Yeah. Do you know who I think is really cute? George's friend.
The problem with George's friend is that he's George's friend.
Yeah, exactly. Because George's friend, all his friends kept quiet as the guy would be talking like, I like tits, I like this, I like that.
Double D's
I said, excuse me? I feel like him and Ella would have...
Double divorce.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what they're gonna get.
Exactly. We were hearing rumours before we found out about JJ that Ella was going to cheat on someone. And I 100% thought it was going to be George. I thought it was going to be George.
Those two don't have any... They don't look like they've even had a conversation together.
No, but they don't. But the thing is, George...
He loves the tartars.
He does. And Ella does
bury his face in some tartars.
Anyway.
I
have
would
no
put money on the fact that George and Portia have hooked up before. Because I'm just sorry, I'm never going to fight like that with a man who's not my husband.
No. That fight was fiery. I mean, I was like, what's going on?
He was big mad.
He was, yeah.
And now after, like, hearing that they haven't done anything, maybe it makes sense, because maybe he was just like, it's not fair that you're getting to kiss 4 people and I can't kiss one person. Yeah, so true. This is really annoying to me, because if you guys can kiss people outside of your marriage, I would like to do that as well. Why didn't you invite me to the game?
Yeah, like, I really want to go.
I love to kiss.
I want to kiss.
I'm French.
Exactly. I want to kiss as many people as I want.
Put me in the game.
Who do you think he would want to kiss out of all the couples? Out of all the girls, sorry.
Portia. I can speak French to it.
I mean, there's that, yeah. I think there'd be that.
Like French lips.
I think he would be all over. She's a newer person, Erica, and maybe.
The thing with George is, I don't think any of those women would be all over him.
No, not one.
I honestly can't think of it. I think he could have made things. The reason why I really think he could have made stuff work with Portia is, she is a certain type of person.
Yeah.
And he's a certain type of person. And I actually think that there's certain types of things don't necessarily rub against each other. Like, they could have maybe found some equilibrium. Because Portia doesn't seem as conservative as Peggy is.
No. Which is ironic.
Very weird.
Because we'll talk about that soon.
But who else is on the show? Maybe Laura?
Who's Laura?
and Arthur.
Oh yeah, Laura. Yeah, Laura. Yes.
I think Laura.
Sorry, Laura. Yeah.
Because he's like a bit. He's a
He's a bit posh. Yeah. I think Laura. I think is
But I don't think Laura would have had sex with him.
No, she wouldn't have put up with his. If it was George,
Getting handsy.
Yeah, George on the wedding day. No, because actually, weirdly, it's so funny when we first saw George and he's like bravado type of personality. I was like, wow, he's gonna be the big mouth of the group. And actually, when you see him in like the bigger group settings, like the commitment ceremonies and the dinner parties, he's kind of like in the background. Like he doesn't stand out. The people that talk the most are like Luke, Nathaniel, Ella. Like he doesn't make that much of a scene, which is just interesting. But I think maybe he put up the characters to get on the show, but maybe deep down he's not like that.
I'm just a chill dude, man.
Fam. Should we?
Oh, do we? Yeah, that's really
a bit, yeah.
Oh, the rimming.
Yeah, what happened with that?
So I'm assuming they talked about what they like to do.
Okay.
And he said that he liked to be rimmed and to rim, which if you're not familiar with that, it's basically eating arse.
Is that it? Because I thought it was like, oh, sorry, I thought that's pegging. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pegging. Pegging is called pegging.
Pegging
rimming is like sort of.
Oh my God. Okay, I got it.
Like just
around the rim.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. So and Peggy was like, "That's disgusting to me." That's what I mean. I don't think these people are compatible.
No.
Joe might have been a good match for him, Bianca, because on her honeymoon with JJ, then when she's giving him the massage, she's asking all these questions like, "Have you ever been tied up? Have you ever done this?" And he's like, "No," and then she's like, "Oh, he's gonna be in for a shock."
Oh, yeah.
And so I think she was probably quite sexually adventurous, but he never got to find out.
No. I mean, who knows? Maybe after the show, if Peggy and him are not together, which I don't think they are, maybe that could be something.
Okay, man. Have some optimism.
I'll be honest, when I watch these shows, especially when we're in season 8...
Also, he doesn't want kids, and she wants kids.
Yeah, no hope. They're done.
They're just... He is a big kid. Yeah. I don't know why you'd even want to have a baby with someone like that.
Again, the producers were producing.
Yeah, they don't want the win. They don't want to see them win.
No. We are going to finish up this episode with our final couple, Portia and Terence.
Wow. It's a good thing to get them in this half because they are not in the next one.
No.
Portia and Terence. So as with every season, they try and do one black love couple. This season it was Portia and Terence. Terence is a 40-year-old DJ. So I should tell you everything you need to know about Terence. And Portia is in her 30s. She has one child. I think she's never been married before, but she has been in a long-term relationship. And
with rather wealthy men.
She's used to a certain way of life. She goes to bed at 9 o'clock, so it becomes a very important fact.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just a God-loving Christian girl.
And there was something about it.
Whose wig starts back here.
Back to the middle of her head.
The middle of her head. I was looking at her, I said, is no one going to say nothing?
No, I think I never really noticed.
Not the friends. No, what do you mean? She had literally... No, do you know what it was? She obviously had been doing weave on for such a long time that she has traction and alopecia, so her hairline is here, but there's no hair. So the wig, the weave starts here.
Yeah. Oh, she's doing leave out.
Yeah, I think so. So the wig starts back here, and it's like, well, you're not going to help the traction alopecia by just continuing to pull it back onto the bald. Like sometimes just.
It's not funny, but yeah.
You know. Glueless wig.
Yeah, glueless. Yeah, 360. Yeah.
Braids.
Frontal. So stuff that I do not even do. Yeah. One thing about Portia, when she met Terence at the aisle, and I kind of rooted for her at that moment, was when when she walked up to Terence and she said, before they even said hello, how are you, what's your name, she was like, are you a Christian? And I know for Terence that was a bit of a shock because he was like, huh? You don't even know my name, but you asked me if I was Christian. And I was like, yes, girl, ask him because it's really important to know this. Yeah, I mean, it was, again, there was so many things where I was like, this is your only moral moment. Everything else went terribly downhill, terribly fast.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to malign Christian people in this moment.
Go on, because it ends up happening. I don't know what the producers are doing. They find the most interesting, I'm going to say the word interesting, Christian, quote unquote, characters. And it really is not giving us a good name, I'll be honest.
I will say this. 9 times out of 10, my good friend in this room notwithstanding, people who lead with their Christianity are the worst people I've ever met. They are always the worst people I've ever met. There'll be other people in the room who are Christians who just don't lead with it.
Yeah, true.
Who live very nice lives according to the Bible. The person who's coming in, giant crucifix, I love God, is sleeping with the pastor. Yeah. Enough of this. I don't get, like, just using it as a cover. Like, if I walk in and I say it first, no one's going to think I'm a bad person. And they're always the worst person.
It's true.
So I get nervous when people lead with that. I really do, because I'm like, they're about to do something absolutely unhinged.
Yeah. But that being said, because, again, I was putting my faith in this show, and it's the first time I've seen that where someone asks the partner outright, like, are you a Christian? That's something I would have done. I know it sounds really crazy to say. If I was in that position, I would want to know.
You're a liar, because you wouldn't have...
Okay, maybe not on the first question. Okay, I'll be honest. Maybe not on the first question, but my vows would have made some implications that I love God, and I hope you do too.
That would literally be the vow.
Yeah.
With an implication, just be like, I love God, and I hope you do too.
There's a song called I Love God, ILUH God, by Mary Mary. I just read the lyrics. I love God, I hope you do too.
I think my vows would have something like, wow, who would have thought? Not me. Just as many lies on the internet as I could get
When I was younger, I believed in stranger danger, and now I'm going for a stranger.
Isn't that
to have my kid a major?
Do Sam poetry. Open the door, close the door.
I am so confused as to why I'm doing this, but I believe you're confused like me too. So
because Mary, quite contrary, isn't this? Just looking at you like,
what? Question mark.
Yes. Okay.
I want you to know that I'm funny. And that's a loss.
If you don't get that reference, this marriage ain't gonna work. And he's like, I don't get the reference because I wasn't born in 1992. Weirdo.
I was born in 2001. I was like, oh, you need to go. You need to leave.
You're gonna have to be my son.
Honestly, I do believe that if I was on Married at First Sight and I told them, like, these are the things that is a bit important to me in terms of relationships, they're going to get me someone who's super young.
Shut your mouth about it.
Super young, or they're going to be someone who's super
5'4".
Yeah.
He's 21, 5'4".
They'll give me the two things.
Bold.
Yeah, but I don't mind bold. So yeah.
But it sounds like that one.
Yeah, but they'll get me those two, and that'll be it. And they'll be like, have
Hates
fun.
God.
Yeah. They'll give me the atheist. Atheist, 21-year-old, 5'4". Done. And that I have to. Oh, but the thing is, it'd be too late. I would have found out. I would have married them already.
I don't think he would have married them.
If it were 5'4", I would have to walk off. I would have to walk off. What do you mean? When I say
when they do the bit where the bridesmaids and stuff are in the room, but the person's not in there, and they're just like, oh my god, she's gonna hate him. That would be us.
That's you.
I'm gonna go now actually, because she's not gonna do this. I know her.
All my girlies were like, yeah.
And they try not to laugh the whole time because I know exactly what's coming. Like, oh no, he's smiling and telling his family can't wait to get married. She's gonna walk in there and be like,
no,
nah. I must be in the wrong room, honey.
I'm like, where is the 6'1" groom?
When does the groom get here?
Why is
his son,
the flower boy here?
His son. You're the page boy, right?
Yeah, page boy.
And he has to stand back. I need to make room for the groom.
Well, I am the groom.
Huh?
No, but I mean the groom.
I can't hear you from down there.
So basically, what I'm going to say is I want short men.
The short of the back, they're going to get you the shortest man. That's the thing. And you have to be like, I'm open to all things. Like, if he's tall, I'll accept it. If he's hot, I can put up with that. Just try and make it sound like, oh, it's a real deal breaker for me if he's too attractive. That
exactly.
Real deal breaker.
Honestly.
What are my top things? I don't mind if he's short, but he can't be like a whole head shorter than me.
But he may be.
No. He could be like the same height as me or like 2 inches smaller than me. But he can't be a whole head shorter than me. Like, that's just not going to... Where his eye height is at my boob.
And the worst thing is you're wearing heels as well. Like that...
Yeah, that's... I can't be that. So, like, I don't mind if he's, like, anywhere here.
Face length.
No, this is actually crazy when you think about it.
Honestly, not eye length. No. So basically, the top of his head is your nose. No, reaches your nose. Absolutely not.
No, because that's basically the eyeline is the boob. So yeah, he has to be about. Basically, he can be 1 inch shorter than me.
But you're going to be wearing heels on your wedding.
I don't mind.
Okay.
When we do the couples dance.
Oh my god! You have to take your shoes off.
I'll be leading. I'll lead.
What if it was like significantly like bigger?
Kind of depends how he carried himself.
What if it's like George big? I mean George thick.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm trying to think if it was like thicker. I can't think.
Can't be like Luke. Soft. Luke seems soft.
Yeah,
George seems tight.
Yeah.
But soft at the same time.
He does.
I
think it's like soft on Tommy. On the tummy.
On the tummy.
In the tummy, it's soft on the belly, but tight on the butt.
Doesn't make sense. Actually,
actually
he's goes gym all the time, running all the time.
Or maybe
Explain the drinking.
The drinking. Yeah.
The guys have to stop
with
the
drinking. You can really see it. Come on, guys.
Right. Sorry. Let's get
back
to Portia and Terrence.
Actually, talking of someone who does have a gut, Terrence does too.
Terrence, if I had walked down the aisle at my youthful age and my youthful face and found Terrence, I would be fuming.
He looks a bit uncle-ish.
Not a bit uncle, he looked like uncle. He actually looked like an uncle. I actually would not be able to go through. I'm so sorry, I have to go.
I'd be like, where's your son?
Just, am I going to have to kiss him?
Yeah, there was nothing.
I don't want to kiss him.
But the thing is, when
I can't see my life with you, sorry.
No,
I don't even want to pretend.
No, when Portia saw him, she was like, he's 6'1", he's attractive, he's a bit older. You know, she was feeling it. She was feeling it. I was not.
He wasn't feeling it, I think he said, didn't he?
Not much. He wasn't.
He was like, she's not my usual type or something.
Yeah. Which is code for...
Read white.
Yeah.
Read white.
That's what Uche said to Aaliyah after they got together, like, not my usual type. Like, yeah. Typical. So one of the things that started to come through in terms of their relationship was... Actually, I can't even remember. It was like cracks on cracks on cracks. Oh yeah, the immaturity thing.
Yeah, he felt like Portia didn't give him space to speak, and that she was not making an effort with him, i.e. staying up past her bedtime, which was 9 o'clock. So he wasn't making an effort with her. So they're at dinner one day, and he's like, "I've only been giving you like 70%." Which honestly, if I was sitting there, that would be pissing me off as well. Yeah. Like, why? What do you mean? Like, why are you even telling me that?
Yeah.
And she's like, why? He's like, oh, because I feel like you don't make an effort with me. Like, when I come in, you're always asleep. She's like, well, I told you I go to sleep at 9 o'clock. I honestly, in that fight, I was like, if she goes to sleep at 9 o'clock, she goes to sleep at 9 o'clock. Yeah. You guys have spent... First, what's not making sense to me is, did they not spend all day together?
Pretty much.
So what is happening in the evening that he's going somewhere, they're coming back and expecting her to still be up?
I wasn't sure they were talking about their hypothetical life where he's DJing.
In the future. Yeah.
DJing.
I'm also not going to wait up until 1 a.m, 2 a.m. in the morning. No, I'm mad. I have to go to work. I have a son.
Yeah, and she's not like going to come to your parties.
Yeah, she says she's not a party girl, she's a homebody, she has to say, like, in terms of that, their lifestyles are very different. He was like, oh, well, usually girls I've dated, I guess, like to be in the club, which,
Yeah.
As if I want to be in the club because my boyfriend's DJing every week.
Yeah. And also, come on, you're 4 years old, like, pack it up and let's go.
Oh.
No offence.
So, they have an argument at the table where he starts calling her immature. She says, all right, I don't want to talk to you then. She asks him to ask the waiter to get her a spoon.
Yeah.
A serving spoon, because they didn't have a serving spoon on the table. And they were having some sort of shared meal. And he says, you can use my spoon. And she says, I don't want your spoon. I want the serving spoon. And he goes, oh, you're a child. And then she gets upset and leaves the table. This argument comes all the way back with them to England and makes it into the dining room where They come to the dinner. So this is the first time a couple has come to the first dinner party separately.
Yeah.
They haven't, at this point, they hadn't moved in together.
No, they haven't.
This is how Big Spoongate became, that they haven't even moved in together. She turns up to the party, everyone's like, where's your partner? She's like, yeah, he's mad at me because of a spoon, so I don't really know. He then comes in and says hi to everyone but her, which is muggy.
Yeah.
And
it was very bravado, like, hey, hi guys, I'm Terrence. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, like, you're actually trying to wind me up.
Yeah, come on.
So that then spills into an argument at the table in front of everyone, which, of course, the one, black club.
Yeah.
And you two are doing the first domestic at the table. Very embarrassing.
It felt also very staged. Like, they're shouting over the table. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah. And then somehow, that goes to the commitment ceremony. I think he says he wants to leave. She says she wants to stay.
Yeah.
So they both have to stay. The experts come around to the house, give them some therapy, in quotes. That suddenly improves everything. They're getting on a lot better. They do the values thing where you have to list 8 of your values in order, and a lot of their values were the same.
Yeah.
They come to the next dinner party. They're actually not the topic of conversation for once. Someone else is fighting. They love to see it.
That's the best thing.
And then the week after is, of course, spin the bottle. So, off screen, which is honestly the most jarring thing that's about this series, is stuff happening off screen. Off screen, Portia and
Terrence.
No, Portia and some other people who we're unaware of, apart from Jay, are hanging out while they're not filming and play a game Spin the Bottle. Apparently, Portia kisses 4 people. If anyone knows what the game of Spin the Bottle is, you spin the bottle and you either do a dare or you kiss the person.
Yeah.
So
it is what it is. I mean, I don't think it's
not
right.
It's not. It is what it is, because I don't know if you should be playing Spin the Bottle
as a married couple. No.
Let me finish.
Okay. How I would finish is as a married couple, but you go and finish on your way. Go on.
I was going to say, if you're not settled in that couple.
Interesting.
Like, I think, I'm not saying cheat on your husband, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, if you guys are actually settled in a real couple, that game will have different implications, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Equally, if you are a settled couple, but you've been having arguments lately, and then I hear you're playing Spin the Bottle with other people, it feels like this is just a symptom of our problems.
Yeah.
And I think the mark of that is the fact that you're playing Spin the Bottle and I'm at home.
That is true.
There's a difference between, again, this is what I imagine very cool middle class people do. Like, I don't know if this will ever be my life, but like, you have a couple of your couple friends over, and you're like, should we play a game and Spin the Bottle? And it's like, all of us are safe, secure in our marriages. Or maybe we're...
Absolutely not. Something about it sounds fishy.
I'm not implying, I'm not saying you're French kissing by any means. Again, I think Spin the Bottle is a weird game to play anyway.
I think it's a weird game to play post the age of 19.
Spin the Bottle is a game you play because you want to kiss someone in that circle.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a weird game to just be like,
you play at uni at most.
I don't think I've ever played... Oh, actually, that's not true. I think I've played Spin the Bottle, but it ended up... People just mostly did the dares because there were maybe more girls in the circle than boys.
Yeah, I think I played it, but only once.
It doesn't even feel like a very British game.
No, it's very American
and very 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're not set, if things are very unstable, you going and doing anything that would rock that, you get what you get. Yeah. So her going to play Spin the Bottle and then Terrence wanting to leave afterwards is not surprising.
Yeah.
What I found interesting about the situation is, at first I thought maybe they could get past it because she came and told him immediately. He knew about it and there's no new information. But I think what was getting to him was that it became such a big topic at the dinner party.
Yeah.
And so George actively, in his continuously going after her during that party, made Terrence feel like he couldn't get past it.
Yeah.
Because I actually think Terrence was gonna get past it.
I think it was...
They're not...
But I think that, okay, they may have got past this one, but there was a crack already forming. And I don't think they would have lasted super long in this couple.
My problem with this show is, much like Nathaniel and Ella, we don't do anything a married couple would do.
No.
We are married solely in name.
Yeah.
And better not even officially.
Yeah.
Why are you upset? No, for real, tell me, like, that would be my thing. If I was Portia, I'd be like, why are you upset right now?
I think it's...
Because you don't really like me.
Yeah.
I'm not your type. What is it that is bruised right now? Because I feel
It's
like
ego.
if you're being honest, yeah, it's ego.
Come on,
so that's not really about me. That's about you.
Yeah.
If you was really saying, like, I have feelings for you, then that's one thing. That is something that I would actively be trying to work to repair that. You're just being hurt because your feelings is hurt because you look stupid. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with me. Really.
I mean, you caused it.
Manage your feelings, isn't it? What the hell?
But I know
is your ego so fragile that if I'm a person we're not together?
Yeah, I mean, their relationship was loose. I mean, they were stronger than Ella and Nathaniel, but I didn't see.
Didn't someone call them fake? Their couple fake
they called
as well.
Yeah, they called their couple fake. Yeah,
it's just
they did the camera. And I think it's like Portia's attitude. Yeah, she has also an argument with Ella. No, not Ella. She had an argument with Laura. Peggy. About spreading stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Peggy who said that their relationship was fake.
Yeah, and then Portia got her. It was, to me, that couple, they were just very turbulent.
I think that Portia tried it with George and Peggy knew. That's why Peggy said it's fake, because she'd been trying to move to my man.
I just can't. I mean, apart from when they were arguing in French, that was the first and the only time I saw them speak. The whole time.
They must have been speaking.
I mean,
because how do you know that I speak French to speak French to me?
Yeah, I know.
How would you know that?
I know.
I'm trying to even imagine at university where someone just came up to me and started speaking Tree. Huh?
Yeah.
And we've never had a conversation before.
I know. I mean, that was wild. Of course, it must have happened. They must have chatted, but yeah, this couple. I mean, by the time we got to the commitment ceremony,
who came up to me and was like, Alana would be ashamed. How do you know about Alana?
Yeah, true.
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Okay, you two have had spoken with, like, is this how Alana would want you to act?
Yeah. I think...
Whoever Alana is.
Yeah. Terence...
Our daughter.
Oh my gosh.
What if you found out that the dad of Portia's baby was George?
It's not.
And they kept it a secret this whole time.
I mean, it's given me
just
Lydia...
Just like Love is Blind.
Lydia
yeah.
Uche. Yeah, I mean, that would be wild. But
someone should do that. Someone should have a baby daddy and a baby mama on the show. But not together.
Yeah, that's just messy.
But
at the end of the day...
I'd love that, actually.
I mean, again, great drama, but I think, again, it will fizzle and burn very quickly. But the good thing about Married at First Sight in comparison to Love is Blind is
it's not supposed to be a secret. It wouldn't be a secret for long. They know that you're going to meet at the dinner party.
That's true. And also, they'll bring more couples in. So there'll be more drama each week, whereas Love is Blind became very finite.
Yeah.
By the time we got to the commitment ceremony, after the spin the bottle, Terence was ready to go. And Portia was like, no... You know,
I'm gonna work for this.
I'm gonna work for this. You know, we got better after the first time you wrote leave. We're gonna stay. And she was literally like, we're gonna stay. And Terence was like, nah, I'm out of here.
He's
I'm
like,
leaving.
You can stay. I'm going.
I'm going. And this was the first time when like...
It was really awkward,
It really was. And the whole rule of like, the one person says stay, it doesn't work because people have used that to manipulate the other person.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It also doesn't work because, like you said earlier, if I want to go home, I'm going home. You can't threaten me because realistically, you can't threaten me with anything like I'm going to go to jail. That's not going to happen. No. So as long as I'm not going to go to jail, I'll happily go home. Yeah. I have a job.
True.
I have a house.
Yeah.
I've got friends. I've got family. I will be okay.
And then people could be like, my mental health, like.
Let me off the show.
Putting people in this position where they don't want to be there doesn't work. And I don't think I've seen any couple where someone said leave and the person said stay and they've stayed
and they've gone on to be the strongest couple.
No, then usually leave the week after, like, oh, we've done this, we've exhausted it and I really don't want to stay anymore. And the other person's like, well, we've tried. Like, what's the point of wasting someone's week? Let them go home.
Well, they were going to waste the week anyway because they had contracted to be there for a certain amount of time. So
yeah, anyway, there are so many couples that we are going to do a part 2.
By the time we do our part 2, there'll be 18 more couples.
Yeah, true. We're going to go through some of the other couples that we weren't able to talk about this week, including the likes of Ross and Thomas, and Shona and Brad. They left already. And some of the newbies as well, Mark and Sean. But we are gonna finish up because there's too many of them. There are. They just kept on. It got to a point where they just kept on bringing more couples getting married, and I'm like, I don't care about these people.
Ooh.
Oh, I do, but I mean, I do because my theory is, and we can talk about it in part 2, is that I definitely felt that the experts were just bringing in new couples with the hope that one of them will cheat with one of the OG couples, and it eventually happened with Ella and Nathaniel, and JJ and Bianca, and then they stopped.
I actually think it's because they knew that they had created some devilish pairs.
Yeah,
to begin
wild.
with. And they were like, we won't have a full season of these people, so we have to bring other people in to replace them as and when they drop out. And I'm genuinely surprised not more of them have dropped.
Same.
Like, more of them haven't dropped out.
Same. Do you want to rate the show so far, or should we just wait on to the end?
Let's wait till the end.
Okay.
Based on the couples we've talked about, who do you think is going to make it to the end?
I'll be honest, Laura and Arthur.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's the only couple I think is going to make it.
I think the people, plus I definitely think won't make it to the end, is Posh and Terrence.
I mean, they're gone. You idiots. I mean, and Ella and Nathaniel.
Yes, and Ella and Nathaniel.
But I think Peggy and Georgia, I think they're going to give it a good try, but even if they get to the end, they're going to break up very soon after.
I think George is itching to cheat on her.
Yeah, because he wants sex.
Also, he's French, and that's what they do as a pastime.
Oh my gosh. No offense to our French listeners.
Ooh.
But anyway. Where we?
Baguettes.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing any of those
baguettes. What other French things are there?
Bruh.
Cam.
We are going to say à bientôt. See you soon.
Arrivederci.
Yeah. But this has been Married at First Sight Part 1. Anyway, we're going to go now. This has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana.
Bye.
Bye.